Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast. I'm Bianca McKenzie, and today I'm talking about joining the conversation on the new social media platform Clubhouse with Kate Toon. Kate Toon is a writing entrepreneur as well as a popular coach, speaker, author, and podcaster. She's also a mad good hula hooper. Her digital education business, The Recipe for SEO Success, and the Clever Copywriting School have helped more than 8,000 small business owners grapple the Google beast and write better content. Kate runs Australia's only dedicated annual copywriting conference, CopyCon. She presents its events around the world and runs several hugely successful Facebook groups. Author of the popular business self-help book, Confessions of a Misfit Entrepreneur, How to Succeed in Business Despite Yourself, Kate lives on the central coast of Sydney, where she loves wandering on the beach with her son and her CFO, Chief Furry Officer, dog, Pomplamoose. And a little interesting fact about Kate is that she has always wanted to shear a sheep. Okay, well, that was a long intro. Welcome to the show, Kate. So
well done for getting through it.
Yeah, it's growing, isn't it? Like there's so much to all the things that you do. So yeah, wow. And I guess not so much traveling around the world at the moment, but lots of new things to keep you entertained. And talk a little bit about that shearing a sheep, because actually it's on my list too. I kind of want to do it as well.
Thing, isn't it? I just think it would be so satisfying. But then people have told me that sheep are quite smelly and they wiggle around and it's not, and they don't enjoy it and it's not very fun. So instead, I really enjoy shearing my dog instead. He doesn't enjoy it quite so much, and I'm not very good at it. But
he's probably easier to handle, not as big.
He is. He's very docile. He just likes the attention. So I think I might have to stick with dog shearing and never do my sheep shearing dream. But who knows? One day.
You should take a video of that. I would love to see it.
Yeah, it would be quite soothing, wouldn't it? Like those videos where people make smoothies and stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. That's a great content idea, Bianca.
Get it on Reels or something.
Yeah, Reels for sure, with a good soundtrack. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. All right, well, another thing you've added to all the things that you do already is a new social media platform. I feel like I came out of the bush after, Christmas, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about Clubhouse, and I'm like, hang on, what's going on? So Can you tell us a little bit more about what is Clubhouse?
Well, when we're recording this, it's January 2021, barely, I think. We're nearly out of it. And I agree, like it wasn't there. And then all of a sudden it was there. But the truth is, I think it's actually been around for over a year. It kind of started off in the kind of Black music scene, really. I think there was a huge audience there. And now it's kind of expanded to, business owners, expanded around the globe. And I think it's because they did this kind of invite only flow. So they kind of released it to some influencers, and then the influencers invited other influencers. And so us low-level humans have only just started to hear about it. And they're doing that because it's still a bit clunky. There are still issues. And it's only available on Apple at the moment, but they're planning to do a new release in March with the Android version. And it's an amazing platform. I mean, it's basically purely audio. So it's a chat function. It's like an audio chat function, not unlike Periscope back in the day, but it enables you to set up rooms, have conversations, run Q&As, connect with people all over the world. It's marvelous and highly, highly addictive.
I love that. And so, yeah, like in the last few even days and weeks, I've sort of noticed that you've jumped on board and you've been quite active, and like I know you talk about in the membership, which I'm part of as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about what made you jump on and become a Clubhouser?
Well, I think we were talking before we started talking about the fact that we both like a bit of shiny objects to, help us procrastinate from the things we really should be doing. So yeah, I discovered it. I ran a few rooms. I reconnected with some people I haven't talked to for ages. And I just feel like it's very much my jam. I've got a lot of podcasts. I like talking to people. I like helping people. I can think very quickly on my feet, and I'm pretty good at banter. And I feel like I could handle anything that's thrown at me from having spoken at so many public events. So for me, I can go on to it with confidence. And I think it's often confidence that holds us back from trying these things out. And I feel fairly confident about it. So I just thought, why not give it a pop and go all in for a couple of weeks? I'm in full launch mode with everything. So I've just launched my copywriting membership. Next week, I launch my SEO course. The week after, I launch my Digital MasterChefs membership. So it's a lot of launching. And to launch well, you need a lot of people. You need to have a lot of people at top of funnel level working through your funnel. So for me, it's a funnel builder. It's brand awareness, top of funnel. You may never have heard of me, but hey, here I am. These are the things I talk about. And if you like them, take the next step. And it's working quite well so far.
I think that's really good. So basically, I love that you're talking about this in the top of funnel thing. And when you jumped in, was there like a strategy behind it, or was it more of a, okay, it sort of fits in with all the other work I do, let's just give it a go? And also, what I would like to know is, are you actually attracting new people at the moment?
Yeah, so no, I never go in with a strategy, Bianca. You know me. I'm the least strategic person. I dive in and work out my strategy as I'm swimming. Do you know what I mean? So dove in, started reconnecting, saw that I was getting a lot of traction, is that the word, very quickly, and a lot of followers very quickly. And other people weren't. So I'm like, I must be doing this okay. I must be okay at that. And that gave me the encouragement to go on. And then, you know, I managed to get a club. So a room is an area where you chat. A club is like a community of your followers. I managed to get a club. I tied that in with my Misfit Entrepreneur brand and the existing community I have on Facebook. And then I thought, well, I can run some sessions on how to do this, because I got on just about a week before everybody else. And so I thought, well, look, I'm not an expert, but no one is. So why don't I start helping people use the platform? So I ran a few sessions called Your First 7 Days on Clubhouse. They got a lot of people interested. And then I thought I could make I'm saying the same things again and again. Why don't I make a downloadable? So I made a little downloadable, which I released yesterday as a lead magnet. And yeah, so far, you know, I think I've got over 2,000 followers on the platform. I think I've had about 300 new followers on Instagram and a lot of DMs. I've had about 200 new people join the community. I've had about maybe 200 join my funnel for Kate Toon, and so far about 200 people request that new lead magnet. So it's not huge numbers, 200-300, probably the same people doing the same things. You know, they're the same 200, but they are all new people.
Yeah.
So that for me is exciting, because I do feel sometimes like we spend a lot of time talking to our existing audience, and it's like they've already bought all my things. I can't sell them anything else, you know? So yeah.
I love that. That's exciting. And you kind of said, oh, it's not that many, but like you said, you released like your downloadable yesterday. Give it some time.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. And it's sometimes great to be timely. And, you know, I said to you that I kind of threw everything out for the day and just focused on making that. It's done. But the thing, I think another really important sort of strategic thing to say is I'm going hard at the moment, doing a session every day on Clubhouse, very intentionally. So I'm not going into other people's rooms and sitting there for 6 hours. I am being the leader in my group, running an hour-long session so that it fits in with my day. And then I will pull back a little bit, because I need to be very conscious that people are paying to be in my memberships. And if I'm given the milk away for free, nobody's going to buy the cow. Yeah. So I need to always in my business prioritize my bottom of funnel people, the people who've already invested in me, and make sure that they are my top priority, not dance around trying to attract new people, but try and keep the love of the people I already have.
Yeah, I love that. And that's one thing that I really like about what you do and how you do that. So I'm sure that there's lots of people listening that are kind of going, okay, well, Clubhouse, you know, maybe it's for me, maybe it's not for me. And I have to say that at first I kind of thought, oh, there's all these, you know, big wigs on there. Who am I to just jump in there and like nobody's going to notice me and see me? What do you think are the opportunities for businesses, and in particular people who don't have large followings and are not known yet?
I love that question, because I think of all the platforms that exist, this one is the great leveler. Yes, there are people on there with big followings, but already even the big people don't have very big followings yet because they're all new. So unlike Instagram, where you go and follow your hero or heroine and they're already up to like 60,000 followers, even some big names like Mari Smith or whatever only have 6,000 or 7,000, which isn't so far away. You see what I mean? It's a bit more attainable. But equally, the thing that I've been talking about on Clubhouse is a lot of those entrepreneurs aren't doing a great job on Clubhouse because they're so used to being the leader, the thought leader, that when they run rooms, they run them in a speaker audience model and they keep hold of the mic and they get people up on stage who are their cronies and they're in their little clique. That's the complete opposite of what Clubhouse is about. You're supposed to be having conversations. And, if you don't let people interact with you, well, then what's the point of being in their room? You may as well just listen to their podcast or watch a Facebook Live video. So I think that because anybody can start a room and anybody can see that, like if you follow people and people follow you, it doesn't, even if you get 3 people in that room, you're going to have the kind of intimate chat that's going to leave them with a memory of you. And build a relationship so that next time you run the room, they tell 2 of their friends. It's the complete word of mouth platform. It can feel like a popularity contest, but especially for service-based businesses, how many customers do you need? You don't need thousands and thousands of customers. You can only service 10 a month. And the other thing is, I think lots of entrepreneurs who look great on Instagram and who look great when it's a professionally produced video are actually terrible at just talking without scripts and production values. They can't just have banter. They can't respond to questions quickly and easy. They have no sense of humor. There's no lightness. So they're great if it's highly produced content, but if it's raw and real, you can really start to see the cracks. So I think that's where the real people who don't mind having a few cracks and don't have this huge reputation to maintain can really thrive on Clubhouse.
Oh, I love that. I think that's great.
Yeah. Like, you start a room tomorrow and 5 of your mates join, but I'm connected with your mates. So I see that room and I come in and I go, I really like this woman's style. And even though there's lots of other people teaching digital marketing and Facebook ads, I don't want to learn from them. I want to learn from this woman because she's my people. I feel connected to her. She resonates with me. And I'd rather work with someone whose values I feel aligned with and who I actually like than just some fancy pants big name that's got a $17,000 course. So I think that's the benefit.
I love that. So for any new people who want to get into Clubhouse, and I know you have a downloadable and I'm definitely going to put the link to that. But I'd love to know one thing, like I know that there's probably more things in that checklist, but one thing they need to know about starting on Clubhouse, like what's one thing that they can walk away with right now?
I think that you need to understand that the whole platform is built on engagement. We know that Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn are too. We know that if you post on Instagram and you hang around and interact, you're going to get more engagement. Clubhouse is exactly the same. So the thing I would say is just get started now. I read yesterday there are 2 million people on the platform. It just got valued, I think, for $100 billion or something ridiculous.
Wow.
I might have made that number up, but it's a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
And they reckon there'll be 50 million people on it by the end of the year, if not before. It will be as big as Facebook. So get in, get involved, and just join rooms. And every room you join, try to be brave enough to put your hand up and just make some contribution. And if you don't feel like you have a really erudite, amazing point to share or a really thoughtful question, you can literally just get on stage and say, hi, I just want to thank Bianca for moderating this room. I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for having this discussion. I'm loving the conversation. Thanks. Bye. But obviously you preface that with, hi, I'm Kate Toon. I run Stay Tuned Inc. I'm based in Australia. Hi, Bianca, I think you're doing a great job. So just jumping on and giving a compliment and saying you're appreciating the conversation. Still, what that does is that gets you up on stage. If you're on stage in Clubhouse terms, you're more visible. People are going to click, oh, she sounds interesting. I'm going to click on her profile. Oh, she does that thing that I want. Oh, okay, I'm going to click through to her Instagram. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to join her thing. I'm going to sign up. That's all it takes. Clubhouse enables all of us to get on a stage. Whereas often that feels a bit like there's a kind of clique or a gatekeeper that only certain people get to speak at events. Now everybody can speak at virtual events.
I love that. It's kind of like slowly dipping your toe in without really, I don't know, like even just giving a compliment, like as scary as it might be, is slowly easing yourself into potentially, you know, being braver to actually speak and at some point maybe host your own room.
Well, this is it. And in my little downloadable, I talk about, day 1, join a room, lurk. Day 2, join a room, give a compliment. Next day, think of a question. Join a room where you think you might have a question. The day after, try and give a tip. Then moderate a room. So one thing that's really great is, and Bianca, I've been offering this to the members of my community. If you're not feeling confident, speak to someone who is confident, who's already running rooms, and say, I want to run a room on how to get the best out of Facebook ads. Kate, will you come and moderate with me? And then you can focus on being the voice, the thought leader, and someone else is in the room handling, turning mics on and off, moving people to the audience, jumping in where the conversation goes dry. And I'm really trying to do that with my members at the moment to help them lift them up and give them the confidence and then set them free, like a tugboat dragging the big cruise ship out to harbor, giving people that confidence. And once you've done a bit of co-moderation, it's easy to run your own room, because you have all the power. You can switch the mic off, you can stop people talking, you have a total control. And when you start out, there's not going to be that many people in the room anyway, so then you can practice, and then when you've got 300 people in the room, you'll know exactly what you're doing. And that's probably going to be around the time when all your customers start coming on Clubhouse. Because at the moment, it's just people like me and Bianca, digital marketers. But you give it 3 or 4 weeks, and I think people are going to realize that this is an alternative to podcasts. This is an alternative to radio. This is an alternative to talkback radio. And I think people are going to really start loving the platform.
Oh, that's great. And I'm actually glad you're talking about this a little bit more, because I hadn't really looked at, what I could potentially do and how I could have a room and things like that. But I'm going to dive back into the DMCers.
Me and you are going to host a room. Let's do it. Let's get it happening.
All right. Well, let's do it. And the other thing I was going to ask or talk to you about is, so I've noticed that some people are talking about other topics that are not necessarily entirely their business focus. Do you sort of have any comments on that? Like, I know obviously now you're talking about hosting Clubhouse rooms and things like that, but it really fits in with your digital MasterChef's membership. But I've seen other people talk about things that might not necessarily completely fit with what they do in business. Is that something that people could do as a warm-up or like a co?
I think it's like we're talking about, broad focus and niche focus. Yeah. So I see, some people organizing like Aussie business chat group. And the reason they want to do that is they're casting the net as wide as possible. Because they want to get as many people in that room as possible. They want to be the moderator. Everyone sees them. They follow them. And then later down the track, when they do a niche topic around their subject matter expertise, they've got a bigger pool of people to pull from, So that's kind of what I did to begin with. I'm doing this 7 days of Clubhouse thing. That's going to be interesting to all newbies, whether they've heard of me or not.
Yeah.
If I went straight in with just SEO Q&A or how to be a copywriter, it wouldn't work. I think I'd find it harder to get the people because that's only interesting to quite a niche audience. But I will do that because at the end of the day, the whole point of Clubhouse still has to be return on investment. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. You're on there for 6 hours just sitting in someone's room while they're talking about cats. You are wasting your time. So you need to be intentional. You need to think about your goals. So I've done some broad ones to build brand awareness. Now I'm doing niche ones to drive members into recipe, into digital MasterChefs. For me, digital MasterChefs is a new product to a degree. It's only been around for a couple of years, and I'm known for SEO and copywriting. So it's really important for me to shift or pivot. Yes, I said the P word. People's perspective of me, that I'm just not the SEO person, that I can help with the whole digital marketing journey from starting a business through to, becoming a speaker on stage. So that's why I'm doing it. It's to change people's perceptions, and we shall see if it works. It might not work. So I think a combination of broad for that mass appeal and then niche to actually get customers. And then it's all about experimenting. Some of the topics I've done have not hit home. I've had no one in the room. Others have just gone off. Like the other day, because I've now got a bit of a following, I just did a digital marketing Q&A, and over 100 people turned up. There was no specific topic, but people were keen to come, so you just have to experiment. And obviously the more rooms you do, the better you're going to get.
Perfect. I love that. Well, I'm definitely going to link to your fresh new download. All right, let's wrap up. There's 2 more questions that I always like to ask. One, what are you curious about right now?
I'm not going to say Clubhouse. I'm curious about making 2021 more of a year of kind of calmness. And I guess, I don't know, there's an idea this is really random, Bianca, bear with me. I did medieval mercantilism and farming as part of my degree. So useful, so applicable in the real world. But one of the concepts that was applicable is that when you have a farm in medieval times and there's no pesticides or nutrients that you can put in the soil other than cow poo, that you have 3 fields. You have crop rotation. So you do a deep root crop, then next year you do a low root crop, and then the final year you let it go fallow, and then you start all over again. So for me, this year is a fallow year. I really don't want to do any deep stuff. I don't want to do any top level stuff. I really just want to let my business get some nutrients, let myself come back to myself and feel good about my business, take a bit more break, a bit more time, and just focus on the mindset part of business. I think I've got all the process stuff, the branding stuff, the products. I got a membership, I got a conference, I got a shop, I got a this, ba ba boom, ba ba boom.
Yeah.
But the thing that recurs year after year, even after 12 years, is the mindset. Dealing with the difficult situations, dealing with your own brain. That's what I want to work on this year. And so the business can chill a bit while I work on myself.
This sounds like a really good plan, especially after the year we've just had.
Exactly. We need a break.
I think everyone needs a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
All right. And if you had an extra $1,000 in your marketing budget, what would you spend it on? And you can't say Facebook ads. Well, you can, but everyone seems to, and that's not why the question's there.
Well, I wouldn't. You know that me and you've helped me with my Facebook ads. Bianca got my first ever conversion on a Facebook ad. We should tell people that, Bianca. And I think I spent about $10 and you earned me like $1,000 or something. I can't remember. But since then, I haven't really done Facebook ads. Not necessarily because I don't believe in them, but because I don't think it fits with my narrative, which is about organic reach.
Yeah.
So if I'm going out and buying Facebook ads and kind of sort of saying, yeah, do what I say, but don't do what I do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend it on Facebook ads. I think I would either spend it on making my website better, because I just think your website is your hub and your base and needs to be amazing. Or I would develop a really, really sexy lead magnet. And by that, I mean, it cannot be a 1-page Word document. Like when you do go and download my 7 days on Clubhouse, or I've got another one called Personal Branding Workbook. They are 20-page, beautifully designed, well-written, proofread. I'm blowing my own trumpet, but they need to be better than somebody else's paid product. I've had a few people come back and say the Clubhouse thing, you should have charged for this. This should be one of those $37 templates you see advertised on Facebook.
That's what I think about most of your, your freebies. They all look great.
But the thing is as well, like if that's the kind of quality of my free stuff, imagine how good my paid stuff is.
I know how good your paid stuff is, and it's totally worth every single. Anyway, I love it,
and I love having you in our membership as another Facebook genius and just a digital marketing, who's done pretty much everything in digital marketing. That's what I love about our little community, because we all lift each other up, and I think that's so important in business, that it's that sense of community. It can be so hard at times when you do feel that other people are nibbling at your piece of the pie, but I love that we've followed each other. God, how long, Bianca? We were both 10 when we started, weren't we?
I was still in a job back then.
It's been a good 6, 7, 8 years, I think, that I've been aware of you. And look at us now doing a pod and about to host our first Clubhouse room.
Let's do it. I'm excited and a little bit nervous, but I'm going to download your freebie first, and then all right.
Then hit me up with a pitch and we'll do it together.
We'll do that. Oh, exciting. Thank you. All right. Well, that is the end of this week's show. If you have any questions about Clubhouse for Business, head to katetoon.com. I'll also pop the link to the freebie in the show notes, or any of Kate's social media handles or Facebook group. I'll pop all of that in the show notes too. A really big thanks to you, Kate. This is really a great conversation and such a new topic. I loved it.
Yeah. First podcast I've talked about this on. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure. And thanks to you for listening. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you heard the podcast. Your review will help others find the show and learn more about the amazing world of online marketing. And don't forget to check out the show notes for this episode at newschoolofmarketing.com, where you can learn more about Kate, check out useful links, download free resources, and leave a comment about the show.